Pluto used to be the ninth planet in our solar system. It was a tiny planet, far from the sun, spinning along with the others. But one day, something surprising happened to Pluto. Pluto lost its place as a planet. What in the world happened? Are you curious? Let's find out together! In the middle of the dark, quiet universe, there was a tiny friend just floating all alone. This little friend is called Pluto. Pluto is even smaller than Earth's moon. That's why everyone thought of Pluto as the baby of the solar system. Today, let's get to know Pluto a little better. Even though it's small, Pluto has a very special story to tell. To become a planet, there are some important promises you have to keep. First, you need to grow big enough to shape yourself into a round ball. Next, you have to travel in a steady path around the sun, always following the same route. But there is one more super important rule. Planets have to clean up the space around them. It's kind of like being the biggest slide on the playground. Planets make sure their path stays clear, so no little space friends get in the way. So, did Pluto follow all these planet rules? Let's find out. Around Pluto, there were lots of chunks of ice and rock floating in space. Little pieces were scattered everywhere near Pluto. It was kind of like when you spill a box of toy blocks and they roll all over the floor. Pluto couldn't have its own path all to itself. It had to share the space with its tiny neighbors. To be a planet, you have to keep your path nice and clear. But Pluto couldn't keep its promise. Its path was still messy. Scientists noticed this and thought it was a big clue. Because of this, they started to wonder if Pluto should really be called a planet. Scientists watched Pluto for a long time through their telescopes. They talked together and looked at the rules for planets again. Finally, they decided to give Pluto a brand new name. Now, Pluto is called a dwarf planet. It found a new spot with other small space friends. Dwarf planets go around the sun too, but they have to share their paths with other space rocks. They are smaller and can't keep their way clear like the big planets. Pluto isn't alone. It has a family now with friends like Eris and Haumea. All the dwarf planets are together. Things are a little different for Pluto, but it's still special. Pluto keeps traveling slowly around the sun, just like before. Pluto's story isn't over yet. Let's remember what we learned about Pluto and its new family today. To be a real planet, you have to follow all the special planet rules. Pluto couldn't keep the last promise, but now it travels around the sun with its new family of dwarf planets. Pluto is a little sad, but also very happy. The little dwarf planets are off on their own awesome space adventures. I can't wait to tell you another exciting space story next time.